Hi, Adam Thomas from Balancing Touch, and today I'm in Japan, and I have been searching for some reflexology products, and today I wanted to share with you some thoughts on one of the most powerful points that I use in reflexology, and for sure I use this point on every client, every session. In reflexology, it's the solar plexus, and I've found some really cool products in Japan that specifically work this, although the focus of it might be a little bit different, which we'll find out and we'll explore in this video. But yeah, I just want to talk about the solar plexus reflex or the kidney 1 reflex. So the solar plexus is one of my favorite points in reflexology, like I mentioned before. It's just one of those essential points that you want to hit for sure during a session, if not once, twice. I usually use a breathing exercise with the solar plexus at the end of a session, and it seems to be really amazing. And you'll notice too that when I'm working with a client, as soon as I'm holding on the solar plexus with both points with each hand, you can see the client's eyes, if they're open of course, sort of get this glossy, sort of removed from their body almost kind of a look, right? Because it's just one of those points that just really grounds you, really brings this huge, deeper level of relaxation to the body, right? So I just think it's absolutely so important. Another thing that I wanted to talk about too was the placement, and what we call the solar plexus in reflexology has always a bit confused me since I started to draw out and make the charts, because if we're talking anatomically correct here, the solar plexus sits right in the middle of the body, right? And so if we divide up into 5 sections on this side and 5 on that side, then we have a bit of an issue, because where the solar plexus point is in the middle of the foot, underneath the 3rd toe on the diaphragm line, right, in reflexology. And so if we were to chop it up exactly how we see it, the solar plexus is right here in the middle of the body, where if we're relating it to where we call the solar plexus on the foot, it's actually over here, right? It is along the diaphragm line, but it's over on to the lateral side rather than that part there. And you can see on the foot that if the solar plexus is if we directly relate it to the body, the solar plexus is actually over here under the big toe, right? So there's a bit of an issue I found when I started to draw out these charts, because there's a bit of a conflict with it. But at the same time, I kind of think of it as the solar plexus of the foot point here along the diaphragm line, right? So I have it more of, it's a powerful point on the foot where a lot of the nerve endings come to, and it's the solar plexus of the foot, rather than directly relating it to the body, because I see there's a bit of an issue with it. And really, it doesn't matter what you call this point, because it serves such a deeper purpose, and it's just such a powerful point, right? So another name that you could call the solar plexus would be the kidney 1 point, and this is related to traditional Chinese medicine. And it's also known as the bubbling spring or even the gushing spring. It's the first point along the kidney line, and the kidney line runs from the bottom of the foot right at the solar plexus point, and then it runs up the body. Basically the lowest point that grounds us, that allows this fresh energy, this fresh water element to come up and nourish the rest of the body, right? And so I think of it as that point connecting you to earth and allowing the energy of the earth to run directly straight through that point, coming up and helping with things like digestion and, you know, any type of kind of more energetic spiritual issues like anxiety. This is really good for. And so it works directly with the solar plexus and the meaning that I learned in reflexology, which is basically like a really powerful point for relaxation and grounding, right? So I'm at a bookstore and I'm so excited because I found a product that actually directly works on the solar plexus point. And they call it a multi-purpose point because it's really for improving circulation and for reducing swelling in the foot. Also has to do if you're like fatigued or tired, right? So on this insole, there's extra little bumps that stimulate the neck and the ear and the heart. And you can see the reflexology map there, so it relates it to where it is on the body. And it also works the liver and the pancreas and the shoulder. And then the title of this little thing is, it's basically Magic Insoles for Good Health. It talks about being able to fit any type of shoe, and on the back it talks about a foot massage by walking. And the price of it is about $19.80, which works out to be about $20, right? So anyway, cool product. So then this was a product that I found earlier, and this one is more based on kind of like creating good circulation in the body and the focus seems to be on losing weight, right? And it fits in the same solar plexus area, and you can also wear it inside a shoe and walk around with it. So it's kind of a neat product. It's kind of similar, but completely different at the same time. So just wanted to share this with you as well. So you can tell it's hot in Japan here by the sound of the semis that you can hear in the background. Semis as not in car, rig, big trucks, but semi is in the sort of crickety type sound that you hear in the background there. They only come out when it's really hot. So this is a semi. This is what the sound you hear in the trees. Let me know your thoughts on, you know, the solar plexus placement and what even we call it, but I don't really know what else to call it. So solar plexus, because I was taught that, I'm going to kind of teach it that way, but I am going to explain that, you know, the alignment of it, where it lines up on the body, how it gets onto the feet is a little bit of a different thing, right? But again, it doesn't really matter, because the importance and how powerful the point is more of the point than what we call something, right? And it's so neat too how you can see if we look at the Chinese medicine model, the kidney point, how a lot of the same kind of energy behind the point is related to the solar plexus in reflexology as well. So it's kind of like a different perspective on the exact same point. And again, we saw also in the products in Japan how they you know, stimulated that point. How again, it's a different sort of relationship to the model that we're used to, but you can see that it also benefits, and it's also the same as well. So again, I find that all the time, that you will get different languaging and different perspectives on the point, but really all the points end up, you know, all the streams end up eventually in the ocean, right? And so, yeah, I want to leave that with you. And if you have any insights on what you'd like to call the solar plexus, or if you call it something different, I would love to know. Or if you totally disagree with me, that's fine as well. Let us know in the comments below. So This is Adam from Japan. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, feel free to do so. And if you hit the little bell button, that will notify you when there's new videos coming out. So until then, I'm going to sweat it out in Japan. Bye-bye.